to doing that, what I did was I created a group called Healing in Black with healing practitioners that I personally know, and I have known for quite some time. Especially many of them I met on this app. I think all of them I met on this app. Um, and so we gathered together in order to create this whole community. And you can find our community, I think it's in our link in our bio. Um, you can find our community where you can connect with all of us, even the ones that may or may not show up today. It's okay. But you'll be in a space where you can connect to all of us. Hey, Empress, she's one of them. If you want to come up, Renee, if you want to, you let me know. But with Healing in Black, as I was stating before, we have several practitioners from different walks of life, and different aspects of the body and different aspects of your healing process. When it comes down to, welcome in, boo. When it comes down to who you are, and one of the wonderful people that is a new member of Healing in Black. This is Miss Renee, and she is a death doula. And what she does is she helps people in their transition through death. So in my mind, we always talk about we're here for our company, Black Cherokee One Tribe. We always talk about we're here for your mind, body, and soul. And what we have done in Healing in Black is created those options for people to go into to learn more about their mind, body, and soul from a holistic point of view, in tandem with a few doctors and nurses that are in the group that are Western medicines, that are certified Western medicine MDs, licensed clinical psychologists in the group that helps people in their overall well-being and providing you with services that helps to make your life easier. For me, I am a certified theta healer. That pretty much means that what I do is I help you through your transition and your journeys through your mind. A lot of time diseases can be found, diseases and illnesses can be associated to who you are as a person, but those diseases can also be genetic. Those diseases can also be genetic blueprints from your family before you. So if you know that you have had high blood pressure in your family, or you have the sugars in your family, or you have had the big C, the zodiac sign Cancer in your family, and all of your family members have had some way of connecting to that disease, meaning that your family members, this is a disease that runs within your family. A lot of times, if that's the case, it's because it's associated to a belief system that your family members did not address or didn't know that they were carrying. This also creates a genetic trait. That's what I specialize in. We also have a couple of Reiki healers that help you with your body when it comes down to healing your body in an energetic way. Energetic healers. We have sound healers as well. We also have a human design reader that helps you with your purpose when it comes down to your soul. In addition to that, we have a herbalist. I'm looking for another herbalist soon that helps you with the intestines and the things within your body. So if you're interested in staying in and locking in and hanging out with us, please feel free to do so. This usually lasts about an hour and a half. And we are here. You can feel free to ask any questions you want. But I want to make sure that I say it right because I'm recording this for a purpose. So in Healing in Black, we have people for your mind. Me for your theta. Hey, Regina. Me for your mental state. And then we have Dr. Berry, Abena Berry. She's available for your mental state as well. So we're there for your mind. We have 3 Reiki healers that are there for your body. Kiva Mac. We have Meta Cole. And then we also have India, Blendia by India. And they are the Reiki healers found within our group. Thank you guys so much for the likes. And they help you with your body. Another part of your body we have to talk about your intestine. So we have a herbalist in the group, and her name is Crystal, and she's with Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions. And she helps you with the herbalist side, or the herbs that you can take in tandem with your medicines. Then we deal with your soul. Your soul, we have the sound healer, which is again India. She is a certified sound healer, and Belindia by India. And then we also have Sharita Marshall, who is the human design reader. And what she does is she helps you discover how you work, how you best function, and what you should look for when it comes down to your life and your soul's purpose. In addition to that, we have Regina's down there. In addition to that, we have Renee here, and she is the Death Doula. And I missed someone. I knew I missed someone. We have two doulas. We have our Birth Doula that helps you through birth. That's Abena. Abena is with Crafts Wombman. She helps you through the birthing process. And it's not just your birthing process within that pregnant person, but it's also the birthing process within the entire, that includes the entire family. She also specializes in the womb area if you're an XX chromosome individual. We also have Miss Renee here. Renee is our death doula, and she helps you with the process on how to live your best life so you can prepare for your passing away. And since she's here, I'm going to allow her to speak. And hey, boo, hey, Happy New Year!
Calendar New Year. How are you?
You're right. Happy calendar New Year.
How are you?
I'm doing better, baby. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I don't know. I'm in this really weird. I don't want to say weird. I'm in a new space. It feels good. It feels
I
good.
love it. That's what's up.
Yes, Sundays are my Mondays, so I'm working right now, but there's a lot of downtime in between work too. So I figured I'll come up and say hi.
So, do you mind? Do you hold on one second? Sorry, Renee.
Nova's a Sagittarius thing today.
4-year-olds, I tell you. For those who are coming in, I have a 4-year-old. But this is Renee. She is our death doula. If you don't mind sharing a little bit about what you do, baby.
Well, what I do is basically, well, I like to say I like to hold hands, but I assist individuals who are going through the end of life process as well as the family members. And Nikisha, we have to talk. I'm actually coming up with like a package of what that looks like as far as I don't also only want to say that I want to serve only those that are in passing, right? Because eventually we're all going to unalive. So I would definitely want to sit down with those that aren't, right? And death comes at any time. We don't know when our contract ends. So I also am in the business of helping everyone prepare for when that what for with that if and when that moment do come about. So right now I'm working on coming up with a package and so I can help other people put together like a portfolio per se. So when in the event that something does happen to them, their loved ones or anyone close to them can know what to do and what that looks like. Hey, Anunnaki.
Hey, Anunnaki. So when it comes down to death, it's not just your actual physical leaving. Death happens in many forms. Could you shed a little bit more light on that?
Oh, yes, death happens in many forms. We usually in the spiritual realm, we'll call that the ego deaths, where the ending of just about anything would be looked at as a death or an ending that will leave you in a space of grieving. So that is whether it's relationships, platonic, family wise, ending of a job, but just ending of spaces in our lives where we're in transition. So that will leave you in a space of grievance. And so that's also something that I like to talk about and look in and allow people to realize, like, hey, this you're experiencing the ending, right? The ending of an event or a space that you're in life, or a job, or like I said, a relationship, and transitioning into another space is looked at as also as the death space as well.
I love that. That's awesome. So we got a few people coming in. Welcome in. Y'all feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to join in. Did I not? Oh, okay. Feel free to join in. Also know that Healing in Black is an open space that is available on our link in our link tree right now. If you'd like to join in to Healing in Black, you are more than welcome to. It is a paid subscription. The paid subscription does not start for 45 days, so it is a trial offer. So you can check us out and see if we are the right fit for you. So you don't have to worry about like a full commitment. But if you notice that it is a good fit for you, then we welcome you to stay and be a part of our community, where we are there to help people grow and to develop into the best form or the best version of themselves in every way, shape, and form, mind, body, and soul. And yes, Renee, I can't wait to help you with your packages, because I think that'll be really cool, and we'll get you structured so we can start generating that thing. Now, what is the best way for people to get in contact with you if they wanted to enlist you for any assistance? I know she. I don't know if I missed her. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Now I can hear you now.
Okay.
I know we both by the
We're going
airports.
right by the
It
airport. Yeah.
sucks. Yep, it
But
sucks.
what I said was, my DMs are open for now. I am, like I said, I'm putting together a lot of things where I'm able to be reached out. But for now, it's just my DMs.
All
Slide.
right, so we're gonna get her together by the end of this week. She gonna be
Yeah,
she
for
gonna be ready,
sure.
ready.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I've my certification I've had for quite a while now. But we're in transition. Let's just say that we're in transition, and I'm excited and looking forward to what's to come.
Same. So, can you give us an instance of when you actually had to put forth your services? What was the most moving experience that you had?
Well, I'm not too sure if I've shared with you guys. I am a crisis specialist, right? So, right, a lot of times I find that I'm always working, whether I'm working at work or I'm walking down the street or I'm meeting individuals. It seems to tend to follow me. But I've put a lot of the things that I've learned through my certification on my calls. I talk to a lot of individuals that are towards the end of life or per se on their deathbeds. And honestly, it's just being present. That's what I find and that's why I've wanted to do this work, is because I've come to find out that a lot of people are passing alone, literally alone, no one to talk to. And it's a scary process. We've come into this world, whether it was a room full of people or it was just us and our moms, but we didn't come to this world alone, and I don't think that anyone should leave alone. So for me, my favorite part of it all is holding space. That's the sacred part of it for me. It's a very big honor to be able to hold space for an individual that is going through that process, so they can be feel seen and heard, right? Because a lot of times when you are passing, and you're facing yourself, because that's all that is ultimately. You're facing yourself and you're facing your choices, the what ifs, I could have, should have, would have, and not have someone to witness that, or not have someone to listen, or to even validate what has happened. It's tough. And so for me, I just want to be present. And that's been really the magical end of it for me.
Now, I know in some of the previous lives that we talked about how important it is for you, for anybody, any one of us, to embark in our healing journey. Like, there are a lot of things that we try to avoid in our lives, and things that we think we can just keep passing off. And because we are given several chances to really dive in deep towards our own emotional and physical healing. That's the reason why we have Healing in Black. What usually happens to the individuals who do not, the individuals who do not address those healing issues?
Being that your body remembers, right? There's a specific order and process that the body goes through, as well as your soul, that goes through, that then allows you to kind of, I guess, slip away in a way, right? And if you're not, and if you're holding on to resentment or anger, or depending what ailment that you are passing from, because once again, the body remembers, and a lot of the things that we face, as above, so below, it's because we've held on to whatever emotions or feelings that, we're dealing with, and not allowing ourselves to release it, because we've hold on to it, is manifested into something else. And as you're passing, these things you will eventually have to face, and make sense of while you're passing away. And that can make that process a lot more harder and difficult and challenging for you, in that process.
Welcome in the butter. What's good, baby? So when it comes down to the healing process, if you don't fix your, thank you for the gifts, baby. If you don't fix whatever it is that you have been sweeping underneath the rug on your day to day basis, if you don't put your your big girl draws on, or your big boy draws on, and actually address those issues, you may think that you're avoiding it, but the reality is that you are going to walk right into it if you don't address it.
Yeah, there's no avoiding anything in life. I mean, I think that some people might think they get away from certain things, but with time, it comes back up. It all resurfaces, especially on an emotional level. It all resurfaces, and and it's not just in theory. I mean, when I'm talking to individuals that are in it, and that's all they want to talk about, is what they could have done differently, what they've wasted their time on. Those are, I mean, if you are ever blessed enough to talk to someone that is in that phase of life, there is so much to learn from them, because the agony that comes from the idea, like, I only had but so much time to rectify this situation and I didn't. And now I'm now still having to deal with that emotion, and knowing that I have no more time left is a tough pill to swallow. It is. It's like there's no making up for this anymore. Like I've basically burnt wasted all of my time, all the time that I was gifted to fix this situation, or to choose myself, or to do better. I didn't do it, and now I have to swallow that. And that's tough. That's tough to see.
And so, from my point of view, what ends up happening is that's how a soul contract is created.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever you did not address, you yearn for at least one more time to get it right. And so, that's for me, that's when your soul makes a decision on whether or not it's going to come back on this earth, or is it just going to move on to the next phase. Thank you, Butter. And the reason why I say that is because, as many of you guys know, I always talk about old John. I'm gonna have to get a reset. I'm gonna have to get a soul regression with a real, so I can get a new character to talk about. But I like my old boy John. For I need a new person. But when it comes down to old boy John, for those who don't know, and since this is a part of our podcast, I will be downloading this and putting it on the Black Cherokee One Tribe podcast show, aka Healing in Black. John is one of my past souls' lives, and John was a white man who was a British soldier. He was a redcoat, and upon his dying day, or his unaliving day, he watched his family become unalived in front of him. And at that same time, after he watched them become unalive in front of him, he ended up becoming unalive himself. Um, and we have to use specific terms when we're on TikTok. So podcast show, hey, just rock with us, roll with us. So the belief system that he had was his last breath was that he would never have any children, right? And he would never have another family again because he never wants to see them suffer. And so when it comes down to your unaliving day, or the day of your passing, when it comes down to the day of your passing, what ends up happening is that's when, like she's saying, you start stating all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and you start to explain yourself, and you try to get an idea of what life has, what you should have done in this life. And therefore, what you're doing at that moment is creating your soul contract. You're creating an opportunity for yourself, because whatever you speak, so will it be. You're creating an opportunity for yourself to come back again in another lifetime. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm asking you and I'm asking y'all. What are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. Like I said, just recently I had a caller that I was on the phone with for a few hours, just going through his life. He was in hospice and he didn't have any family members per se, like he didn't marry or had kids or anything like that. And he was basically just sharing how he wished he didn't, he chose his career. And basically, the worldly things. And and like I said, when you do have these conversations, it shifts you. I mean, it shifts me at least. It makes me want to make different choices and really understand the true value and the meaning of life and what we should really be doing here. But it was really sad. I was really sad for him, because he was passing, and like I said, he was in hospice, so he didn't really have too much time left to fulfill any of those wishes. So now I wonder, I wonder if he'll come back in the next lifetime, and like that's all he'll be about, family um and paying more attention to that part of life. But truly sit with, I do urge everyone to really sit with themselves to figure out, what am I here for? What am I really doing here? What really holds value? I think that we get so lost in our day-to-day world, and just about 90% of this, I mean, this is my theory, right? Just about 90% of the things that we worry about on a day-to-day basis is not really real. Like, it's not tangible. Like, it's not real. Like, tax season's about to come up, like, right? Like, and some people are like, I gotta have tax done by a certain time, and they're stressing and worrying about paperwork. Like, is that really what matters? Really sit down and figure out what matters to you. Because I know for me, by the time I'm on my deathbed and I'm done, I'm washing my hand of this experience, I want to be proud of what I've done and the things that I've accomplished, and just coming to terms with what it is that I've done here while I still had time to make a difference. really figure out what matters for sure.
And like you were saying, when it comes down to we know it's almost tax season, and it's like we understand there are cycles in life that is happening. There are seasons in life that are happening, and sometimes we get stuck in that loop. And the reason why we get stuck into that loop is because we are programmed to be. And the way, oh, we found, what's up, Steven? We are programmed to be that way because of the subconscious beliefs that has been played within our mind on a day-to-day basis. And that stems back all the way, these beliefs stems from who you are, and then it comes from your genetic beliefs, your genetic beliefs, which is from your family. And then it comes from your historical beliefs, those beliefs that have been passed on from generation to generation to generation. And then you also have your soul's belief, those feelings and those beliefs that were coming from a different past life. Now, I know I just gave you guys a lot of information, but tonight you guys can definitely check out our webinar where it fully explains all of those things, and you can find that in the link in our bio. But the reason why I'm saying that is because the reality is we get so stuck in those cycles that we don't really know how to get out of it. The core belief is what you choose to believe. That only represents 12% of your actual thoughts, of your conscious thoughts, and everything else in your life is on autopilot. So you end up being stuck in these cycles where for 12%, you're like, oh man, I really want to break free and live my life. I really want to break free and to fulfill my passions and my desires. But you may find yourself in a specific space where you're like, I don't know how. I don't know how to get away from that. How do I get away from my 9 to 5 job and still feel comfortable? How do I get into a point where I can actually activate my faith, where it's fully working for me and I can work with the desires that I want? So when it's time for me to go away to the next transition of life, I can feel fully fulfilled that I have worked within my passion, that I have fully have done what I have come to this earth to do, right? That's a lot of the things that many of us are dealing with, a lot of the things that many of us who are stepping in, embarking into this new life or into this realm of following your heart and living out your purpose. The reality of those things is that you are faced with the day-to-day cycles or the seasonal cycles that seem to prevent you. And the reason why you're stuck in that space is because your subconscious is constantly playing in the background and is always telling you the things that you don't know, that it's always telling you the things that your family has went through, or the memories and the experience that your family has all shared, and that's locked within your DNA. So it requires you to completely remove those ideas and those thoughts in order for you to 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 fully break away. Or if you decide on just taking the plunge, like many of us have, right? Decided to fully take the plunge, and then you still have to work through those issues. And if you don't work through those issues, you end up on your deathbed, wishing you shoulda, coulda, woulda. So it's a perplexable. It's perplexable. It's a situation that you have power to control, but if you don't know what your power truly is, then you really don't know how to control it. What do you think? Y'all in the comments too. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I think that people tend to not realize that you do, like, because we're so stuck in these cycles, you don't realize how much control that you do have. Um, you know, when you talk to people, it's like people will say, I hate my job, but because of certain obligations, they override that and still go to being at a job that they hate for 15, 20 years. Couldn't be me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's certain things that we have to prioritize, and I don't think that we put ourself first, our experience, or even realize like, hey, there's another job out there. Like, yes, you hate this job. Give yourself the chance to actually work somewhere you do enjoy. Like, but people have so much fear in their hearts that it takes away the sense of autonomy of your own life.
I agree with that. And a lot of those fears, as I said before, are the thoughts and the experiences of the people that are locked inside of your DNA. Those thoughts are embedded in you from since before you were born, in my opinion, in my practice.
Yeah, the more that I've been around and I make it's I hear I've been I've been part of this for a while. I've been coming to your lives for a while, and it makes more and more sense. And I've actually been sharing a lot of the things that I'm learning with like my friends, and it's like, wow, like that does make sense. Or even the idea of the thoughts when we were discussing thoughts and how like sometimes you'll get a thought and it's like, why am I even thinking this way? Or like, why is this intrusive thought constantly pops up? Ooh, I'm back. Why this intrusive thought constantly pops up out of nowhere? Like sometimes I get like the craziest thoughts, and now instead of building on it or being alarmed by it, now it's more like, I wonder who this is. Like, I wonder who's gone through this experience as to why this is now landing on my lap. Like, who down the line has felt this way? And trying to free them from it so that I can be free from it is what really, when we talk about generational curses. So it gives you, when you're understanding it from that perspective, it gives you more of a power to control, not only understand your thoughts, but also control what is happening around you. Because I think that a lot of us fall victim to our thoughts and think that we can't control it. I know that for a fact because I constantly talk to people every day and I'm like, no, you actually have a lot more power than you realize. So, yeah, it's given me a new
and go ahead.
no, it's given me a new perspective and I feel more like I can get rid of this and I can actually rectify whatever this has been for my bloodline or whoever this was that's put them at ease, put them to rest. And I think that's what a lot of it is too. It's like they're not resting. They're not truly resting because of a lot of undone deeds or emotions, things that have been unprocessed.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because I was working with a young lady last night, and that was the question that came to be. So one of the questions was that if my loved person, my loved one, the one that is my family member, has passed on, then if they've passed on, how come those feelings are still embedded in me? Like, does that mean that the loved one who has passed on is not at rest? Is their spirit not at rest? And what I explained to her, based on my point of view, is this: that once your spirit, because we're all mind, body, and soul, right? And once that spirit has left the body, that spirit is completely free. But the body, hey, Kat, hey, Abena, but wrong person. Is that Abena? Yes. But the body, welcome in, baby. But the body, when the body separates itself from when the soul separates itself from the body's DNA still lives on in your life, right? And so the feelings of despair and the feelings of hurt and the feelings of anger, all of those feelings that help to create who you are today are the feelings that are locked within your DNA, are the feelings that are locked in your DNA. That doesn't mean that that person's soul is not at rest and is not free from the pain and the anger and whatever they felt. When we cross over, our soul departs and comes back and it connects with us. But their blood still runs, or the makeup of their blood still runs within our DNA. And that's also tied to the feelings that they had as well. which is now tied within you. That is your inheritance innately by nature. Does that make sense, Empress?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense because it's all molecular too. I mean,
Yeah.
like you spoke about the tears, and if our tears can come out differently with each emotion, I mean, the cells are listening, right? Like to a molecular level and a DNA level, they're all listening and carrying that same frequency.
Absolutely. Well, I want you guys to welcome in Miss Abena from the Crafts Wombman. She is also another doula, but she's on the other side of being a doula. This is one of our birth doulas that is found within Healing in Black. If you are interested in joining in Healing in Black, go ahead and click the link in our bio, and just click on the group Healing in Black, where you can get a free 45-day subscription to get connected to all of us and ask all the questions that you want and have like one-on-one sessions at their discretions, but they are posting different classes that they have, different things that they have going on in their life. So I want you guys to welcome in Abena. How you doing, Abena?
Hi there. I'm just popping in real quick. I have to go out and shop. Sorry I
No
didn't answer
worries,
that
girl.
email that you sent.
Oh no, it's all good. So I think I sent the email too late because Mr. Radio isn't here right now, and that's okay. We'll try it again another week.
Okay.
But this is this is a good introduction for all of us. So I'm glad you stopped in. I'm glad you popped in because I'm still gonna put this on our podcast.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah. So please introduce who you are, what you
Okay.
do, and where people can find you.
Okay, I am the Crafts Woman, Mrs. Adu. I am a womb wellness specialist. I'm a certified doula, yoni steam practitioner, midwife assistant. I'm also an author of 5 books, and you can find me at the craftswoman.com. Just craftswoman.com.
There you go. And you can also check her out on YouTube, and also on TikTok. She does have webinars ish, where she has segments where she's sharing more about the experience of giving birth and how it affects you if you are in the process of having children.
And also fertility as well. Also specialize in fertility.
Yeah, she knows more about what she specializes in. I just know the premise. That's
Oh no, no, I forgot to
it.
say it. It's so
No, you're good.
that's why I just try to say womb wellness to encompass
Yeah.
everything. You're on mute.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Don't just follow her on TikTok, but also because we don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. But please consider following her on YouTube and all of her other forms of communication and social media platforms, and also her website because I know she has a built in community. And you can also join her with us in Healing in Black.
Thank
Now,
you.
Abina,
Yes.
you're more than welcome. Now, I mean, I know you got only a few minutes. What would within this few minutes, what would be your advice to the community at large when it comes down to women's womb health?
Um, I think I talked about this the last time, but checking out your partners, who you're allowing to, enter the course with you because they can bring some things um that will affect you. So I think that's important. Um, be patient with yourself. We do I do this thing every year, new yoni. So I do have like some specials going on. You can look at my page, but so every year, like around January, everybody's talking about cleansing and all this stuff. So I just put in it's a good time to just cleanse your womb so you can it doesn't have to be invasive. You can just be consistent, like maybe drinking some herbal tea every day, doing some yoga poses. Just be consistent and patient with yourself. Because this time during the winter time, of course, we already know it's not the new year. The new year is in spring, is not in the dead of winter, but this is the time to cleanse. This is the time to cleanse.
Say that, because I will say happy calendar new year.
Yeah.
But I still agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yes. Empress said that she had a huge cup of red raspberry leaf. So red raspberry is one of the ingredients in my womb herbs. It's extremely important for women of all ages and stages to be drinking that tea because that's the ultimate uterine tonic. So it doesn't matter, even if you've had a hysterectomy, ablation, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's going to help you tone the uterus and even that vaginal area. So red raspberry leaf is top tier.
Straight right here from the mouth of the Crafts Wombman, y'all. Let's give it up for her. Whoa. You can also find her in Healing in Black with a group of all of our other practitioners that are Black. But we are here to help everyone. And the reason why I created the group Healing in Black is because we had a lot of people that was asking me, where are the Black healers? Well, you can find us now. The Black Holistic Healers are found right there inside of our link in our bio. Go ahead and click the link in our bio for your free 45-day subscription. Anything else you would like to add, Miss Abena?
No, that's it. I'm gonna just go out and run, and I'm still gonna probably listen in the car, but I'm just gonna be on mute. No, that's it. I'm enjoying the conversation.
No,
just listening. I'm just gonna go
on
mute.
Love it.
I'm about to hop in the car so I can grab a couple of things and get back here and go live again.
That part. Well, I love it. All right. So what we're gonna do next is this. Got to get him together. Does anyone have any questions? This is your time to ask any of your questions for either one of us. And if Abena can talk, she will. And if Empress can talk, she can do the same. And same for me. I have to be a mom at the same time, y'all. I'm sorry for the dead space. I'm going to have to do some editing.
Oh. We'll call it Nova time.
Yeah, the toddler break. Jesus. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. We are Healing in Black. This is just a small portion of Healing in Black. These are our doulas. We have our birth doula here and our death doula here, and they're both up present. This is the doula section. I love it. The unplanned doula section. This is awesome. It's important. The reason why I wanted to incorporate doulas, and I just learned about death doulas, but the reason why I wanted to incorporate doulas is one, because I've been through a form of these different stages in a sense. When I gave birth to my son, I had a couple of doulas on standby, and my mother, when she transitioned by herself, and I wanted to know what her experience was. Because I wasn't there to hold her hand. Because if I would have known my mother was on the verge of passing away, if I knew my mother was on the verge of passing away, I would have been next to her. But by talking with Abena, Abena has been very informative on your womb health and how to make sure that your health is optimal in any phase that you are going through. I want to ask her, does she deal with perimenopause and menopause part 2? Because your girl heading in that direction possibly. I don't know. Do you deal with that, Abena?
Well, I'm in that phase too, and I'm learning a lot. So what I have learned is that menopause, well, I've heard that menopause means that your minerals pause. So after the changes of childbirth, I had my last child at 42, and I had to overcome infertility as well as trying for a while, and I couldn't get pregnant. So I wanted to get pregnant earlier, but it didn't happen. So it happened later. But I noticed my body is totally different um, after childbirth. So I think that we need to focus on getting minerals in our body. Exercising. It's kind of like, whatever you did to your body in your youth, you start to feel it later. And so now I'm on an exercise regimen and just trying to focus on balancing my hormones. Spearmint, that's another good herb to take to balance your hormones, and that is an ingredient in my womb herbs as well. So right now, I think that we got to be a lot more health conscious as we reach that midlife stage or whatever, and going into what you call the crone stage when your cycle stops. I'm learning a lot about the cycles too, of some women 60 years old still having a cycle.
My mama was one, and my grandmother, she still had hers until she was 80. When she passed
Wow.
away, she was still having her cycle.
Wow. That's amazing
So
to me.
I know what to expect in my genes.
That's amazing. So it's such a mystery around menstruation. Some people say we're not supposed to have it, we're supposed to have it. I I'm still in the air about that.
Yeah, I've come across information that says that we're not supposed to go through menopause. Like, that's not
Yeah.
something that we should be experiencing. And it's due to our environment, the things that we're eating, stress, all of the above. Just not, yeah, we're not supposed to be experiencing that, especially at such a young age. I mean, I hear women going through it in their 40s and early 50s, and that shouldn't be.
I also heard that when it comes down to our cycle, one of a nurse, she told me that we are only supposed to have a cycle 4 times a year. That's it. Not every month. That's abnormal.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, even with me, I've experimented when I had a regular American diet, I was eating meat, you know, I remember my cycle used to be 7 days long. Like, I'm talking heavy clots, all the works. And then when I started my spiritual journey, my diet changed. I started having no pains, no nothing. Like, none of the things that the girls complain about when it comes to cycles, all of that literally went away overnight. Now my cycle's 3 days tops. I'm even working on minimizing it to 2 days. Like, it really is with the mindset and what it is that you're putting in your mouth. Huge, huge difference. I've been on both end of the spectrum. Like, now, and it is, to me, in fact, it's true, because when I do fall back on my regimen and my teas and my eating, I'll go back to the cramps and the day and prolonging days. But when I do revert back to a strict regimen, drinking water, liquids, teas, meditating, working out, it'll literally be 48 hours the most. And I won't even know when it's coming. Like, there's no signs of it, no PMSing, none of that.
Abena?
Yes. I'm getting dressed. Yes. Well, one thing I can say, like, there was someone who goes to Egypt, right? So Egypt is supposed to be the start of civilization. Now we have all these different, theories or histories that say that life was, started somewhere else, like in the United States or whatever. But I wanted to ask. I actually messaged someone who goes to Egypt to ask, did they menstruate during that time? Because I heard that it's for only animals who have been domesticated menstruate. And okay, so this is my thing with menstruation. It seems it's so spiritual though, because how can like certain women are in sync with the new moon, where their cycle comes every time on the new moon, and for it to just come, and then when it comes, that's when you're actually your most powerful. And so you have certain religious sects that say that the woman can't sleep in the same bed as the man, she can't cook, sort of like she's evil, or but it's actually a really powerful time. And then I've heard that they were releasing toxins and all this stuff, and it's a spiritual time, and it also the blood also has stem cells in it. It's healing. So that's why I say I'll accept the information from anywhere. I don't know what's true and what's not. I just know that we have evolved throughout the millions of years that we've been on the planet. So I don't believe we even looked like this before, like we didn't always look like this. So I'm just not sure if it's normal or not, but I think that we're bleeding too early and for too long.
Agreed on that one.
So that's why I'm also a lactation lover. I've just coined that word for myself because I love breastfeeding. So like the benefits of breast milk. But when you are breastfeeding your baby, you can delay the menstruation. And so they said that's one of the reasons why you're less likely to get breast cancer. And if you menstruate early, you're at high risk of getting cancer. And when you're lactating, you're actually healing your womb and your breast. When you're lactating, you're delaying your cycle. So it's the female body, I am constantly at awe the more I learn. Like, I met this lady who said she never had a cycle, never ovulated. She wasn't vegan. Everybody was like, was she vegan? No, she was not vegan. And she had children. And the doctors were so amazed by her. They did all this studying because they were trying to find out, wait a minute, you're not ovulating, you don't ovulate. And then there's really an ovulation myth. Because when I got pregnant the first time, my midwife tracked it and said, oh, you weren't ovulating during this time. Well, my cycles are shorter, so I ovulate sooner than the other time. And then you could create your own ovulation. Like when I'm studying fertility, you can put your body in an environment to ovulate. So you have women who are in menopause who are having children.
I mean, it's just the human body is, like you said, it's a huge mystery still. I mean, I've come across stories where well, myth, I guess it falls under myth, but women that don't have any intercourse that are able to get pregnant, like
yes, 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 that's yes, definitely parthenogenesis.
I never. Oh yeah. That's what they. Yeah.
Without intercourse, you're pregnant, and so it still is a huge mystery. I mean, science can go only to a certain limit.
Kendra says that she read and researched that when you have a heavy cycle, it's because of the meat you
eat. I don't think that's necessarily true because there are people who don't eat meat and still have heavy cycles.
But also to bring in that book that LT and I was sharing with you, and you said that's also, I think there's too many factors. It's not just one thing. I think that people tend to this is it has to be your diet. It's not just your diet either. It all, and very well when it comes to emotions and holding on to certain things, that plays a huge part.
So as I was saying before, the reason why I created this community is because it addresses your mind, body, and soul. And sometimes, especially here in the United States, we can get completely focused on just the idea from the logical point of view that, okay, because your body is reacting to this from the food that you eat, then you must change your diet, or you must get this medicine. But when we take it from a holistic point of view, we can look at the fact that your feelings may be a part of that, a genetic belief that may have gotten maybe a part of that, a core belief may be a part of that, your belief system, your mind plays a part of that. Then you have your wound itself, your cellular structure that plays a part in what's going on in your body. And then you have your soul that plays a part of what's going on with your body. And a lot of people collectively, in my opinion, we haven't taken out the time to understand these parts of the body collectively, right? And that's, again, that's the reason why we have Healing in Black.
So if you're gonna ask me, don't look at me when I say the answer. I look at this TV.
This book has
What'd
become
you say, Abena?
I don't give a damn.
I think she's talking to someone else.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna put her on mute real quick.
You know, I pulled up the book now that we're talking about that.
Yep.
For menopause,
I was gonna do the same thing.
for menopause, it says fear of no longer being wanted, fear of aging, self-rejection, not feeling good enough. I mean, how many women go through that as we're aging, right? That whole idea of ageism, we all experience that. I think that we all combat that belief. And then for other menstrual issues, rejection of one's femininity, guilt, fear, belief that the genitals are sinful or dirty. A lot of us come up believing that or thinking that because that's what we're being told, especially if we're religious, right? When we bring in being in the church and all that. And other religions also do believe that. So I think that that's why a lot of us will experience both of these things.
And that's where, when it comes down to my practice, everything that you pretty much state is these things that have been passed on from generation to generation. The feelings of inadequacy, the feelings of not being sexually desirable. Our society teaches us these things in our faces. This is what we see in our face on a day-to-day basis, especially when it comes down to Hollywood or the things that are projected on TV, right? Even on YouTube or on our pages, or like if you live here in Las Vegas, I'm gonna tell you this: if you're not a size 0 and look like you're in your 20s, you're not gonna get the first pick. You're not gonna be accepted into the clubs that they have out here. You're not going to be the first point of contact where they take pictures of you. It's not going to happen because they want to make sure that it looks young and vibrant when they don't. It's an ageist environment out here in Las Vegas. And that sends a lot of people in a space that they don't have any value or worth as they get older. And so what happens in that space, especially with women, that's when menopause does play a huge factor. It is about the things that you think about, because whoever you are, okay, hold on, baby, because whoever you are, whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. That's what ends up happening. Uh-oh. Abena. So when it comes down to menopause and perimenopause, as we continue to age, we notice that our body doesn't look as plump as it used to be. Our eyes aren't as wide and white as they used to be, because I'm 44. I'm 44. And this year I'm going to be 45, right? And we start seeing the gray hairs pop up in random places. And then when you see these things happening, you realize that the person that you felt that you were on the inside is not the same person that you see on the outside. This person is getting older. Random places. The gray hairs start popping up in random places.
I have a story for you, but I'll tell you that on the back end. It's so funny, but yeah, I wonder now, as as I know you've told the stories that you've shared about your mom, I can kind of get the gist of the energy of the kind of woman that she was. Also, as your grandmother, like, were they very like, I'm every woman type of energy? Like, because I think that for your grandmother to have gotten her menstrual up until 80 says a lot about who she believed herself to be and how she's seen herself.
Abena, you can unmute your mic at any point, but we just know that you was having a personal conversation, and I'm pretty sure you didn't want everybody to hear it. So,
I did not know that. I thought I was on mute. Oh my goodness, what did I say? Oh no,
you didn't do it.
It was muffled.
It wasn't bad.
It was muffled.
Oh,
it was muffled.
okay,
so
I'm
we
getting in
just
the car.
we just put you
Wow.
we just put you on mute. We got you, girl. We got your back. Don't worry. We got your back. But no, my grandma, I call her Grandma Ruth. I called her Feisty because Feisty had a lot of fire in her. She was an Aquarius, but she was a fiery Aquarius. Oh my God. But my Feisty, she had 12 children. Welcome in. Hey. Welcome in, Yolanda. She had 12 children. She actually gave birth to 16. 12 of them were alive. And so she had to maintain a household. She had roughly about 4 husbands, I believe. And she had to maintain some form of household, especially during the time that she was born. She was born in the 1940s. My grandmother was a part of the sharecropping experience in her teens, up to her teens, roughly. She got married at 12 years old, right? And when she got married at 12 years old, during her marriage, she started having children while she was still a child.
Wow, that's a really strong womb. That's a really strong womb. One of my friends told me that her doctor, because she had like so many, like a lot of stuff going on in her womb, and she was still able to birth vaginally, like healthy and stuff. And her doctor called her a breeder.
Wow.
So I know that's such a racist term, but
yo, I'm like, how do you take that? Like, how do you deal with that? Hey, Rosa.
Table in that room.
You saw my face. Like, wait a minute, what? What you say?
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I don't know.
I don't want to call
something to my DNA. My ancestors just came forward. Like, what?
Girl, activated like a bug.
Yeah, and I don't even think she was like all that offended. Like, I mean, she didn't really like say, oh, I went off and I said this, I stopped letting him be my doctor and whatever. But that's just the mindset. That's just to show how we are looked at, like spectacles, like property, things like that. But your grandmother, it's like a Henrietta Lacks type. That's some womb power.
Yeah.
To be able to, even to be able to birth so young, and everybody thinks, oh, just because you can birth, that doesn't mean that you should birth, because your body is still developing. At 12 years old, your mind is not mature and your body is still developing. And actually, and this is what I learned when the doctors were trying to scare me, everybody trying to scare me so much, having a child after 40. But actually, it's a high risk when you are young like that. When you're a teenager and you have babies as a teen, that's pretty risky too. But we do it all the time. So maybe these studies are not on the melanated womb.
I don't know.
She is awesome to have all those children, and I mean, wow, she needs to be. You got her on a statue, like.
Yeah, we need to talk about her more often.
Oh, we will.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's my Feisty. Yeah, a lot of the studies aren't based on a lot of the studies are based on Black people. Is there feedback?
I'm sorry. I'm in the car, so let me mute myself.
You mean recent studies? Because from my understanding, I feel like everything that they did know in regards to the autonomy and what works and what didn't work were studied on female Black women slaves.
Right,
Well, we're
exactly.
still being studied. You know, we're still being
Yeah,
studied.
right. We're still being studied. Absolutely.
All
But
the
I think
medication.
what Kendra is
Yes.
referring to is like the BMI. That's a 19-year-old white boy that the BMI is based upon, the BMI metrics.
Mm-hmm.
19-year-old, right? And with Rosa, she's saying exactly it's not everyone. Had my last perfectly healthy child at 45, no complications at all. Same for me. I had Tiny Boss at 40. And when I had Tiny Boss at 40, my doctor told me, wow, you have a body of a 20 and a 30-year-old.
That's
Like, you carry him like a 20 or a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in your 30s, they're already telling you you're a geriatric pregnancy. It's like, what is geriatric about a 35-year-old? That is insane.
But that's the mental phases that starts to create that perimenopause and the menopause onset. That's the stuff that's starting to psychologically move you to a space where you are getting older and you're not vibrant and you're not worthy. And that's how the onset of perimenopause starts in your mind. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, Abena.
Well, you know, I did want to say that I saw this video. I wished I would have saved it because I was doing so much research when I was going through my infertility. And you know, I saw a video of a white male saying that at 40, we actually, our body starts to regenerate. It's like it renews itself at 40. Even you could start, you know, they say that when you're born you have all the eggs that you will ever have, and as you grow older or wiser, you know, you start to lose those eggs, the egg quality goes down. So that's why people end up being infertile or having reoccurring miscarriages. But according to that, it's actually the opposite.
Expand, please.
Another thing is, you know how when women say that when they get 40, they get the term, I don't want to use the term horny, but aroused, like they're aroused again, like they're in their 20s. So that could be it seems like it goes with what he was saying, that you know, we get new eggs, our egg quality improves, and it's not like we're getting older, it's like a second life.
Because that second wind is real from this 44-year-old woman. That second wind is real, like no other.
So there's
Are
so
you
many
talking?
misconceptions. Oh, I'm just starting to talk now. I was about to mute because I saw somebody come in anointed, but I'm about to mute. I just wanted to say that aging is, as we are, or as I am getting to this age, you know, after 40, like I said, like things are looking a little different, to where it's not really like bad. Like I'm not like how people say, and when they turn 30, they felt a difference. I didn't feel a difference. But after 40, after having my child, that's when I started to feel like things are a little different, skin a little dry. um, you know, just, you know, little certain things are a little different grays, all of that. But I don't feel like I'm aging. I don't know. It's weird. Like I do have grays and I do have the other stuff, but I don't feel like, oh, I'm just so old. I need to walk with a stick and stuff like that. So I think there's so many misconceptions about aging and how we really can take care of ourselves to where we don't have to all lose all our teeth. We don't have to lose our hair, you know? Because it's people that are transitioning in their sleep. You don't have to have that type of life that we look forward to as we age. But that's it.
No, for real. I'm going to introduce you in just a second, Crystal. When it comes down to, like I stated before, and thank you so much for the comment, Beverly. This is a great community with great vibes and real talk. When it comes down to the mental space that is being played, the mental space that we're constantly hearing in our environment and hearing in our world today, we are constantly talking about, we're constantly hearing how at certain ages and certain point of your life, this is what you should be doing. And it's kind of like giving you a blueprint that should not be, right? And in that blueprint that should not be, what ends up happening is it puts you in that mind frame. And the reason why it's putting you in that mind frame is because these are thoughts and patterns that have been processed and practiced throughout ages before we were even created, period. This is what my practice talks about. And because we end up being in these things, we end up putting ourselves on automatic or autopilot because our subconscious is playing in the back of our mind. And so when we start hearing these things like, oh, at this age you should be doing this, or at this age you should be experiencing perimenopause. At this age, you should be experiencing menopause. At this age, you should be walking with a stick and a cane. Because we have our lives on autopilot, many of us, if we don't check it, we will allow those thoughts to become who we are, and we start to embrace those thoughts as they are ours, and our body will reflect those things. And the idea is to allow yourself to be open enough so you don't have to worry about dealing with those thought processes that may be holding you back from where you want to be and where you want to go. But you can't find yourself in that space if you don't get out of the program, right? The program is created for you to walk the line, to be a sheep and not be a leader. That's the whole purpose of the program. With that being said, I would love to welcome you guys in, welcome in Miss Crystal from Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions. She is our herbalist within our group Healing in Black. And I would want her to formally introduce herself if she has the time, and to share a little bit about what she does and how she does it, and join in the conversation, because this is what we do. Welcome in, Crystal.
Hey, thank you for the warm welcome. Hey, everybody. Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, baby. Welcome in, baby.
Great. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for the warm welcome, and hello, everybody. So I'm a herbalist, and I've always been a natural healer. I just didn't know it, and I ran away from it for a very long time. And as with anything, everything has a way of calling you back to it. Your purpose has a way of making sure you come back to it somehow. And that's what happened with me during the lockdown. I was called back in to healing people through the virus. And I was able to create herbal products to help people get over the virus and keep them out of the hospital. After that, I created products to get rid of my sciatica pain that was caused from a slip disc and a bulging disc from a car accident I was involved in. I had over 20 years of pain, spent thousands of dollars on chiropractors, medications, creams, you name it. Nothing took the pain away, but the oil took it all away in less than 2 months. After that, I began really creating solutions for other people because I saw there was a need in my community for natural healing. It's not a secret. We used to do this all the time. It's just somehow we've gotten away from it through colonization and through all the other things that we've went through as a people. So I'm basically taking it back to our ancestors. I don't need a science degree. I'm not a doctor. I use the information I received from our creator and from my ancestors, and the information I receive, if I'm allowed to listen to a person's body. And I create solutions based on all of that. So that's
And
what I
there's
do.
Crystal. And you can find her once we get her connected. You can find her in our group Healing in Black. If you guys want to go ahead and check out the link in our bio. Right now, we are offering a 45-day subscription that is absolutely free. So you can get a chance to get to know all of us on a different level. Once you enter into the group, you'll start seeing where all of us are kind of placed through your mind, body, and soul. And you can get connected, talk to us, and learn from us as we share with you the knowledge that we have. When it comes down to Crystal, and I know she's not ready for this quite yet, but she does have a tea that she allowed me to sample. Was it about 2 years ago, huh? Yeah, it was almost 2 years ago. Um,
It was,
that she
yeah.
allowed me to, yeah, she allowed me to sample, and it was her eye tea. So for when it comes down to me, I used to work in a stock brokerage firm, and I would watch 4 to 5 screens every day when we were on the stock market, when I was working through Wall Street at one of the financial institutions that I worked for. And because I did that for so long, my eyes got tired, right? And because my eyes got tired, it made it very hard for me to see. This is the reason why I have on these glasses. They're very light. They're not heavy prescription in any way. But I can tell you that for the time that I had her tea, I didn't need to wear my glasses. I'm just now putting them on more consistently within the last year. So I would love for you guys to check out her products. Where can they find you and your products outside of our group Healing in Black?
You can find me on my website, anointedlyherbal.concoctions.com. I'm on Facebook or FB and Instagram under the same name.
Love it. So make sure you guys check her out. And what we were talking about, Crystal, is the combination of what has been told to us that we should be doing, right, through society, and how that affects us in our health. Because we have Empress here, and Empress Renee, Crystal, Renee, Crystal, Abena, Crystal. This is their first time meeting each other. Welcome back, Yolanda. Uh, uh, Empress, aka Renee, is our death doula, and she helps people with their transition in all forms of death, be it losing a loved one when it comes down to grief, the death of a relationship, and your own personal passing. And then we have Miss Abena here, who is our birth doula, and she helps people with their life and how they are coming into this world. So we have a wonderful collective group in this amazing space in our community where we have a beautiful array of wonderful Black people that are here to help you mind, body, and soul. So we were just talking about that and wanted to get your views on it. What do you think about it, Crystal?
I'm sorry. Um, it's interesting because I'm going through some stuff personally. And I've actually been practicing a lot of this as I heal from emotional wounds that's been resurfaced,
Resurfacing. I got you. I get it because I'm on the
resurfacing.
same page, girl. I'm on the same page.
But it's for me what I've had to do is I just had to go within and find my strength and just force myself not to think about what society has forced me to receive and accept for myself. I've always been one to do what I wanted to do anyway and what I felt was best for me. But my issues come from my family, trying to please my family, trying to be what I need to be for my family. And a lot of the things that I'm doing now, I couldn't do earlier in my life because I was trying to please my family and I didn't want them to look at me a certain way or treat me a certain way. Um, So for me personally, I don't know if it comes with age or if it just comes with a realization of who you are. And it's just accepting me 100%, absolutely, and seeking out the truths that I need that are valid for my life.
Agreed. I have another question for you, Crystal, because we're catching you up, girl. Now, now that we have crossed over the 40 threshold, right? Do you feel like your life is more vibrant and more worthwhile, or do you feel like you had more of a worthwhile life prior to being in the 40 club?
It feels the same, to be honest with you. The only difference I can say is now everything that I do is backed with knowledge and experience. So it's not me wondering what's going to be. I know what's going to be. And I know what to expect. I can see it before it even happens now because of the experiences that I've had. As far as my body goes, because I'm a herbalist, I take care of everything with herbs. So I love to do yoni steams. I love to take my bath soaks. I love my teas. So I use herbal products in a lot of different ways. So that my body is just, it is what it is. My kids hate going to the store with me because people don't know if I'm their mother or their sister. And I'm like, I don't know if that means you look old.
That's hilarious. I love it.
But it's always been that way. Even when, I was maybe 35 years old before people stopped calling me 16. I finally
That's
looked
awesome.
like I was 21. Yeah, above 21 when I was almost in my 40s. But I don't know. It feels the same to me. The only difference is I have knowledge and experience.
I love it. Now, I can honestly say that when I was pregnant with the tiny boss, I flipped for a second because I was like, "Oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this baby coming into my life?" Like for a second, I was thinking I'm 20 years old because usually, according to society, you get pregnant when you're in your 20s or your 30s, not your 40s. And then I had to take a moment back, and I was like, "Oh wait, hold on, wait a minute." I'm 40 years old. I've been down this road before. I know what it feels like. And I would agree with you when it comes down to living your life and knowing how to maneuver through life. It does make it a lot easier when you are. I want a real snack. Okay. I want candy. But it makes a big difference. I want candy. Hold on. But it does make it. I want candy. But when it comes down to your life as a 40-year-old or 40-plus-year-old woman, you kind of look at statistics and kind of say, pish, posh, hoppy, gosh. I'm living my life the way I want to. Oh, no worries. Thank you so much for joining us, Abena. We are going to end this live in just a few minutes. If you guys have any questions for our Death Doula and our herbalist, thank you so much for joining, Abena. Please put them in the comments. I'm going to give you about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to end this, and you guys can catch the recap on our podcast show. And it should be uploaded. It should be uploaded in a few minutes. It just depends on how my internet is working, because I live by the airport. So if you guys have any questions, or Crystal or Renee, if you guys want to add anything more to the conversation, please feel free to do so.
Help me get on the podcast, please. I think I signed up again. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm clicking the links in your emails, and I'm having the most wonderful time.
Okay, no worries. You're more than welcome, Regina. Thank you for stopping in, love. Was this you're having problems too? I wanted to ask to the question. Go ahead, Kendra. Ask Anointed a question. I need help. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Kendra, ask the question. Gina, what do you need help with? And welcome back, Keita. And Crystal, I can call you after we're done.
Awesome sauce.
Signing up for tonight is not available quite yet. I will send you an email so you can sign up for tonight. It will be available within the next hour. So if you guys are here and you want to check out the webinar where it talks about, uh, where it talks about the 62 generations that are locked inside of your DNA and where generational trauma is starting, we have an 1 hour and 30-minute, a 90-minute not podcast, but a 90-minute webinar that will be available for you guys to schedule and to watch at your earliest convenience. So yeah, I'll let y'all know. Yes, I will email you as well. All right, so Crystal, your question is, do you have healing and natural herb link or a page? Yes, she does. I think she'll share that with you again.
So are you looking for my products? I do have a website, anointedlymadeherbalconcoctions.com. That's my website. But I do have 2 focused Facebook pages. One for my pain heal oil. And that page, we basically speak about everything pain related. So if you have any questions about the pain heal oil, how you can use it in on your body, in your life, that group is specifically for pain heal and pain management. And then I have one for my weight or waist loss, because I have a weight loss program, but it concentrates on getting rid of the toxins and, all of the waste in our body. Both of those are on Facebook, and one is Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions Pain Heal group, and the other one is Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions Weight Loss group. I hope that answered your question.
She wants to know about the weight loss.
So with the weight loss, it's a 3-month program, and I offer it on my website. What happens is once a month we have a Zoom call where we have a face-to-face, and then the rest of the month, you're basically each week, you're taking teas, you take a herbal soak bath, and you apply my pain heal oil around your stomach because it reduces inflammation. So it's going to help reduce the inflammation that's in your stomach from the foods that you eat, and also just from the stresses of life. And it doesn't just go in your stomach, but it helps reduce the internal inflammation around your organs and just throughout your whole body. So the first month we focus on bringing down inflammation in the body with the oil and with the tea. And then the bath soap basically draws out the toxins. And I know for me, when I'm having a very high emotional day, I take bath soap and it pulls out all of the dump. Because whenever you have emotions, there's a chemical reaction in your body. All of those chemicals, all of those hormones, all of that is in your blood, is in your body. So that bath soap helps pull all of that out. It helps relax the body. And once the body is relaxed, then you can start healing. You can start thinking better. You can start moving better. So that's the focus of the first month. The second month, we focus on doing like a slight detox. And then the third month, we do a restoration. The second month, we're basically slowing down the digestive system, preparing the body to jumpstart its own healing. And then that third month, we bring in the nutrients and we help rebuild our cells. And all of it's through herbal teas and the bath soaps and all natural products. You can change your food choices if you want to, but it's not a requirement. But to get the best out of the program, the second month, you would change your food choices for at least 2 weeks.
Any other questions? Hey, Tammy. And Beverly, how are you enjoying the community? The Black Cherokee One Tribe Spiritual Hub, because we just met yesterday. She wants to, I want to go straight up to the page. Okay, how does she go straight to your page, love?
There's a link in my bio, my TikTok page, or you can just type in Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions in the search bar of your website, of your web page, your web browser.
I'll go help you out.
The web something.
That thing with the URL, put it there.
The thing.
Right.
Type on.
That thing. That thing that looks like eyes and sound like googly. And you put it in the googly.
Well, I don't know, Keisha. They've got Safari. They've got Duck.
Yeah. Bingo is a thing. Bing.
Mm-hmm.
Bing, Firefox. I haven't used Firefox in so long. But
They
yeah.
still have Explorer?
Yeah. It still doesn't work that well though. Explorer is the first one to crash.
And I think they
don't use that.
have AOL.
They do. It's locked somewhere in the past. All the things. Do you guys have any closing words? That part. Do any of you guys have any closing words?
Nope, but I love you all.
Renee? Of course.
Well, I'm just happy to be here as always, and always love and looking forward to what's to come. I know it's a new calendar year and everyone has a lot of big goals, and just stay true to self and follow your intuition and move in integrity. That's all I gotta say.
Well, before we go, SJ, she does have a question. Welcome in, SJ. How you been, boo? Her question is, how do I get rid of black smoke from incense? Is that bad energy?
Well, what kind of incense are you burning?
I miss you too, love. She said, what kind of incense are you burning? Black onyx.
Well, I'm not an expert on incense, but I do know black smoke is an indication of negative energy. But does it burn when you burn other incense besides black? I've never burned black onyx, so I'm not too sure. But when you are getting black smoke, that is an indication of negative energy within that space.
She said she's been so sick. Yeah, you might need to get some sage, boo.
Yeah.
You might need to smudge that area. Clean it up and then smudge it. Make sure your windows are open.
Yeah, for sure. But also, too, another thing with saging, once you're done saging, you have to burn something else, maybe like a bay leaf.
Palo Santo, yep, or bay leaf.
Because once you remove the negative energy, you want to bring in something that draws in positivity right after.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And go to the doctor, find out what's wrong with you. If you've been sick and you've been so sick.
Sick how?
Go to the doctor.
I'm just now coming over
right.
and I heard there's like a bird flu thing going on. I was
Another one?
Sick. Yeah, I had a fever for like...
Hey, Papa. They don't know. Okay. Hey, Papa. What's up, Andrea? They don't know.
I've just had to up
Pawpaw's ice cream.
herbs. I've had to be in the bath, taking salt baths, herb.
Talk to Crystal.
Yeah.
Talk to Crystal because Crystal is definitely the herbalist person that you want to connect to. So yeah, reach out to Crystal or just come into the group and then you can ask her and you can put all of your, all of your symptoms in because within the group we have so happy Sunday, baby. We have a group of, like I said, we have a full group of individuals that are there to help you with all aspects. So the symptoms that you may be having may be the very symptoms that someone can address. Okay, cool. Just join in the Healing in Black and then type in what it is and we'll get right to you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Pawpaw's ice cream. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to just put a disclaimer. I'm a herbalist, but I'm not a medical doctor. I cannot diagnose. I do not diagnose. And even though I listen to bodies, everything that I do is suspicion.
Don't worry about it because it's not just Crystal who's in there. We do have a registered nurse and she's out in Holland and she's also in the group as well. We are a collective group full of people from Eastern medicine or spiritual medicine, and we also have Westernized medicine. So you can get medical assistance from a certified medical licensed individual. So it's not just her, but it's all of us. And we can address your mind, body, and soul. Because if it's energy work that needs to happen, then we have the all of us who can do energy healing. If it's herbs that you may need, we have a person that helps you with your herbs. And if it's something that is medically needed, then we have someone in the group that does in the community that actually can address your medical needs as well. It's a wonderful group. All right, and yes, please try it. Let us know. You get a free 90-day. You get a free 45-day trial, and if it doesn't fit for you, then that's okay. But Empress, what do you have to say, love?
Oh no, I was just gonna tell her, make sure you're upping your liquid too. Drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of if that's available to you, fresh pressed fruit juice, and upping on the vegetables to help you get rid of whatever you're dealing with. Hopefully, you flush all of that out.
Y'all, we so black. I'm trying to tell you, not everybody in here is black, but we all from the black diaspora in some way, shape, or form. When I say, hey, we gonna leave in a few minutes, here we go. We got 5 people that popped up, sending out 10 likes. Then we have Kendra who's like, yo, I got a question. I'm like, okay, could we just go be a black family? Let's knock it out. Go ahead, Kendra.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm not mad. I ain't mad. Hey, welcome in. Hey, Mariah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wanting to ask Anointed, since she was talking about the weight loss herbal, like getting rid of all the toxins and stuff in the body, because I'm really thinking about joining that. I already told myself that, I'm needing to lose some. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, love. You went on speaker.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had went to another, I'm multitasking. I'm sorry. But I was just wanting to know if I have any questions about like the weight loss or anything, if I can message you, because I don't want to hold y'all up because I probably have 50 million questions. But
Yeah.
just if I can message you about it, if it's okay.
Yeah, you can message me on here, Facebook, or my website, or even Instagram. However you want it, whichever one you want to choose.
Okay, okay, and I appreciate y'all sharing the information. Thank you, Black Cherokee, for allowing me to come up. I appreciate every one of you.
Girl, I don't want you to feel like you get rushed off. That's not my intention at all. You are free in this space to ask how you feel and what you want. I just know how we are. That's all I'm saying. I know how we are. I just know how we are. So if you want to ask your question, it's the perfect time to ask because we have so many people that may have the same questions as you. So why not ask your questions? And also, happy calendar new year, Miss Mariah. And SJ, same thing for you. You don't have to apologize, baby. You come in, you get the help that you need. Doesn't matter what time you get here. You got here, and we're here to help. So that's just what
Oh
it
yeah, and
is.
I like I said, you're right. I appreciate. I'm kind of like in a process of trying to do something else because I'm doing some I Uber eat, so I'm in the process about to do a trip. So that's why I said I will message her later.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, I'll be there for you.
Okay, okay. And like I say, thank you again. I didn't mean to be so abrupt about it, but I'm just in a process of moving
You're
around, and
fine.
it's gonna be hard for me to try to, you know, ask and do while I'm maneuvering.
No worries. You're good. All
But
right.
my connection kind of messing up, so I will connect with y'all later.
Okay. We'll
Okay.
talk to you
Have
soon.
a good day.
You too, baby. All right. Well, with that being said, does anybody else have any questions? Last call for alcohol.
I'm gonna use.
Last call for alcohol. You gonna use it too, Crystal?
I love it. I surely will. I'm telling where I got it from. Like
That
Black
part.
Cherokee would say, last call.
Go and get your dose while you can, because if you don't, you can catch us right there in our group Healing in Black. Love how I do these transitions. You can catch us right there in our group Healing in Black, found within our community. And you can go to the link in our bio and just click on Healing in Black. You'll see beautiful practitioners that are sitting there with 3 heads and saying, hey, welcome on in. Come on in and get the help that you need when it comes down to your health and your physical well-being. With that being said, this is a product. With that being said, he learning, y'all. Finally. With that being said, this is the product of Black Cherokee One Tribe, where we are here for your mind, body, and soul. Your time is the only thing that you cannot get back. So we hope that you enjoyed your time, you learned something, and it was definitely worth your time. I'm so thankful to have Renee and Abena and Crystal to join us on this platform today. Please be on the lookout for our podcast. This will be re-airing on our podcast show later on today. We've got a lot of things going on. Um, this will be re-airing on our podcast show probably tomorrow. I'll link it for tomorrow, so you can do a small little recap of the things that we talked about. I'm not going to do no editing. It's our very first podcast show, so there's no reason to edit. I'm not seeing that in the future. But check it out. It will also be in the link in our bio. And also tonight we have our first webinar of our generational unlocking generational trauma, the very class that we used to have on a day-to-day basis, well, the weekly basis, where we were talking about generational trauma and generational healing. I wanted to put it on a webinar in order for all of you guys to catch it when you can, and you can catch it in its full entirety. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and please don't judge me too bad with the editing, because it took 5 days to do, because that dang on internet was tripping. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and join us back here at 6 o'clock, our normal standard time, for our Unlocking Generational Trauma in a different way. So, anything else to say, Miss Empress, Miss Crystal?
Thank you for having me. I'll see you guys much later.
All right. See y'all soon. And thank you guys for coming, and join us again next week or until TikTok allows us to keep TikToking. Join us again next week, and we're going to do it all again. Eventually, we're going to move over to YouTube. So see y'all over there too. Make sure you hit likes and subscribe to Empress and Anointedly Made Herbal Concoctions, and hit us up on all of our links located in the link in our bio. Let's stay connected. Pieces. This is y'all.
How do I get out?